Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race at Belmont Park on Sunday is an important prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. Let's take a look at the field for race number 8. We're going 1 1/16 on the inner, and it's the Grade 3 Miss Grillo Stakes. A field of 9. Chad Brown has 2, but the horse they're all going to have to beat is the number 6 Orbelution for the familiar team of Todd Pletcher and John Velasquez.
Yeah, they really do have her to beat. She's already a stakes winner on the grass. She has the experience on this field with 4 starts already under her belt. She's 2 for 2 on the turf. She was impressive winning both of them, but I thought even more impressive in the P.G. Johnson last time. I mean, you know, she got a perfect trip in that race. It was a relatively modest field. She's facing a couple of better horses this time, I think. But man, she was pretty impressive settling that race last time.
As a daughter of Orb, it's no surprise at all that extra distance has really been her friend, and she is 2 for 2 not only on turf, but around 2 turns in a distance of ground. You're right, she had a really nice trip in the P.G. Johnson. She saved ground. She had a nice trip in her maiden win. She's very handy and can put herself in good position. But once she shot up the rail, she settled that P.G. Johnson very, very quickly, and that tactical speed should put her in good stead again. 2 to 1 on the morning line for the early favorite. That is the 6, Orbelution. We have to talk about Chad Brown's 2, and let's begin. They're workmates. The number 7 is Significant Form. Now, Significant Form is still a maiden, although she finished first in her career debut in very impressive performance. On August the 27th, it made your horse watch list on out of the gate.
Yeah, she really ran very well first time out. They paid a lot of money for her. She has a decent pedigree, but that's a pretty big sum to pay for this filly at the sale earlier this year. Her debut is really worth watching, and she was justifiably disqualified in that race. I don't know what happened early, Dan. I don't know if you have a different take on this, but it just to me looked like she was just really green in the early stages of that race. She started to, drift over towards the rail for some reason. She caused a ton of interference. She herself totally lost her action and lost a bunch of position. But after that, man, she did everything right, and I love the way she powered through the stretch in there. I have a feeling she's pretty good. I have a feeling she can give the favorite a real race in here.
Yeah, it looked like she just spooked going into the first turn and drifted in down towards the rail, tightening up some other horses, and perhaps she clipped heels a bit too, lost her footing. But I like the way she gathered herself again on the backstretch and just sort of pulled herself right into the race, eased to the outside. Then once she swung about 4 paths wide in the stretch, she settled it very quickly, and Chad's not fooling around throwing her back in a maiden race. I think he knows that she is pretty good. And Significant Form, I think she's got that stakes potential, certainly. She's 7 to 2 on the morning line. You can argue that's a fair price. As for her workmate, Africa, she has more experience than Significant Form. Right. She started 3 times in her native France. All of those races sprinting. Now she'll get Lasik, she'll get Javier Castellano for the first time. What did you think of her last race going 6 furlongs on August the 1st, a little stakes race there? I thought it was okay simply for the fact that she never really got cover. It looked like she was running a little bit late. I think our short comment of weakened late is a bit uncharitable.
Yeah, that's not really giving her the credit. I mean, is it technically true? I guess maybe it is. Other than that, I mean, she didn't break that well. First of all, in all 3 of her races over there, she doesn't get out of the gate that well, which can sometimes be a problem for these European horses, and it has been for her so far. In that last one, I don't know, she just got a little keen early, a little headstrong. She wound up going really wide around the bend in that race. I thought she actually tried pretty gamely in the stretch. She just couldn't get up in that race. I don't know, Dan. They're going to stretch her out here. It's obviously Chad Brown. He has a good record with these European imports, all the things that I think you kind of like. I just personally haven't watched all 3 of her races in France. I wonder how good she is. I'm not thrilled with any one of the races she ran over there.
Tough outside post as well, going 1 1/16 on the inner towards the outside. And we're going to expect, like many European horses, maybe she won't break. Yeah. Perhaps Javier just takes her to the back of the pack. Probably. They look to get 1 run. I wonder how cranked she is. Chad's only had her for a very short amount of time. Let's see what the Timeform US pace projector has in store for Belmont's 8th race. They've got the 3, Southampton Way, stretching out, trying turf for the first time on the lead. Southampton Way was a well-beaten second on dirt in the Grade 2 Adirondack, a well-beaten second on synth in the Arlington Washington Lassie. But this trip might be comfortable for her. And what do you think of her turf pedigree, though?
I guess if she makes the front in this race, it'll give her some kind of a chance in here. She is a half to 4 horses who have won on the grass. Not that any one of them was any kind of superstar, but at least they won on it. She's an Into Mischief. I guess the pedigree's there for her, but I don't know, man. To me, she just has to really improve on turf, and I'm not so sure she's going to do it.
Like that one, the number 8 best performance is also graded, stakes placed on the dirt. She at least has tried turf already over the quirky European configuration at Kentucky Downs, and I thought she ran okay when the beaten favorite second over a good turf course. I think she can build off that effort, but I'm just not sure where her ceiling is. I think that significant form has that potential when you see an Orvolution, the potential to be true graded stakes horses. I'm not sure about best performance just yet.
I agree with that. I sort of, you know, when they switched her to turf last time, I thought, well, maybe that'll work. She had enough pedigree for it, and I felt like she had the right running style for, you know, these shorter dirt sprints that she started her career and just felt like they didn't really work for her. She doesn't have a lot of speed. She was trying to close at the end. That doesn't generally work at 5 and 5.5 on the dirt. I guess she ran a little better last time. I wanted to see her improve more.
Maybe the extra distance this time around will help her out. First time turf for the number 5 Indy Union. Now, Union Rags has not gotten off to a great start with his first time turf runners. Only 3 for 68 or 2 for 68. He's 3%. The dam was winless on the turf, but she's foaled at least 3 turf winners. There is a little bit of turf pedigree here, but we have a troubling formulator fact for a very good trainer in Jeremiah Engelhard. Over the past 5 years, with all runners moving from turf to turf, he's only 3%.
It's kind of interesting that he has her entered in this race. I wonder what will happen here if he'll actually run her. I'd love to see him just run her in a maiden race on the dirt in her next start. I think she's run really well in her first 2 starts and just sort of looks like a filly who probably wants a little more ground. I don't like her pedigree for grass. She's a maiden entering this race. I'm not going to take her in here. I'm going to be very interested to see what she does down the line, though. I think she can run a little bit.
The 2 Condrington, the 4 Bramble Queen, have both won turf races around 2 turns, albeit in slow time.
Yeah, they both have. I mean, they're both going to really have to improve here. Bramble Queen, she was pretty impressive in that win at Delaware. I know it was maiden 30, it was a pretty weak field, but she looked pretty good winning that race.
Phil Serpy keeps going on with Lifetime Citizen. I thought she worked out a pretty decent trip in the Bolton Landing behind that promising March Express. Finished evenly down towards the inside. They tried to stretch her out in the P.G. Johnson. Could you find any excuse?
I couldn't. It seems like you know, she's finding the stakes races a little bit too tough right now.
Pick time for the feature at Belmont on Sunday. We're both going with Chad Brown. We're both going with the Workmates. You really like significant form a lot, and you're going to go 7, 6, and 9.
Yeah, listen, I like her. I think she has a ton of upside, and I think she has a chance to be really good for Chad. That being said, she better show up with a really good race on Sunday because Pletcher's horse Orvolution can really run.
And it really looks like that filly is just getting better and better. She's still a little bit green Orvolution, but boy, she's got that nice tactical speed. 9, 6, 7, and 3 for me, and I'd probably have to use the 9, 6, and 7 as A's in any kind of pick 4 or multiple race wager. If you are playing the Belmont Sunday card from home, please sign up to DRF Bets. When you do, you will be rewarded with a $300 bonus. And all you have to do is head on over to drf.com/fall and utilize the promo code FALL300. Approximate post time for the Grade 3 Miss Grillo is 5:13 Eastern. Best of luck.